Hello, my dear students. Myself, Dr. Pitambar Umne, founder Botany for You, and working as Associate Professor and Head Department of Botany, Dharampet MP Dev Memorial Science College, Nagpur, Maharashtra, India. I welcome you all in this online platform for the students of Life Sciences Botany for You. Today, we are seeing sixth lecture in this MCQ series of the lectures in Botany, based on the syllabus of RTM Nagpur University Nagpur for BSc. Today we are going to see the lecture based on the semester 1 paper 2, which includes the syllabus on fungi, plant pathology, lichen, bryophytes and mushroom cultivation. I know all these lectures which are based upon MCQs are very much helpful to the students who are facing the online examination conducted by various universities across the India. Even the many lectures from the paper 2 from angiosperm taxonomy, that is morphology of angiosperms, are available on our YouTube channel, which includes your paper 2 of the semester 2, that is unit 1, 2 and 3. So you can go through that all the lectures that will help you in even the semester 2 examination. If you are the new and first time watching this YouTube channel Botany for You, then kindly like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel so that again various types of the lectures we can bring for you for your studies or in other academic development. In this lecture, we will see this paper 2, which includes the syllabus in the unit 1, that is on the fungi, which includes the general characteristics of the fungi and the classification which is proposed by Alexopoulos in 1996, including the economic importance. Again, the life history of 4 different genera from the fungi is included, that is Albigo, Mucor, Puccinia and Sarcospora. So first of all, we will see the different MCQs based upon these different topics of the unit 1. First one, that is, which of the following is correct in fungi nomenclature? As you know, according to the ICBN, International Code of the Botanical Nomenclature, there are the certain rules regarding the nomenclature of the different plants. So, in the similar way, here there are also the names to the different fungi and the different taxonomic ranks or the categories, and which includes or which end with the Mycotina, then Mycetes and Mycetidae. The first one, that is Mycotina, is a subdivision, which is correct one, that is Myxomycotina. Then class Myxomycetes, so you will understand that they are end with these spells. Then subclass Mycetidae. So all these 3, according to the nomenclature of the fungi, are correct, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following characteristics were considered in classification proposed by Alexopoulos in 1996? Type of somatic phase, that is unicellular or multicellular. This is the correct one, that the Alexopoulos has considered this character. Then mycelium septate or the aseptate, if there is a such type of the mycelium having the many nuclei without any separation wall in between them, this becomes now the aseptate condition. And the second one, having the nuclei with the cross wall in between them, that is a multicellular type of the condition. So this is aseptate condition, and this is a septate condition. So both are again considered in the classification given by him. Then presence or absence of the sexual reproduction. Even there is a absence of the sexual reproduction in the fungi which are placed at the end of the classification. So all these three different characteristics are considered in the classification which are proposed by the Alexopoulos, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then fungi are useful in medicine in synthesis of, means what are the economic importance of the fungi. This topic includes that the fungi are also responsible for the synthesis of the antibiotics. Fungi are used for the synthesis of the alkaloids, and even there are many fungi which are responsible for the synthesis of the vitamins also. And hence all these are the answers or the economic importance of the fungi. In this lecture, I have tried to provide the maximum information to the student. So instead of preparing not only the MCQs, but also they can completely revise this paper also. So this lecture will be helpful to you in revision of your paper. The sexual reproduction in fungi takes place by, if you see the asexual reproduction in the fungi, it is by means of the production of the zoospore, by means of the production of the conidia, and even by means of the production of the oidea. And hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then tangled mass of the hyphae is known as, if you see the one single vegetative body, then it is known as the hypha. If there are more than one, means plural, that is known as the hyphae. And if there are the many hyphae which are in a tangled form, then it is known as the mycelium. So the tangled mass of the hyphae is known as mycelium, and hence it becomes the answer. In a very simple way, you can remember this hyphae and mycelium. If you see the Maggi, that the single thread of the Maggi is a hypha. When you are taking Maggi in a spoon to eat, then it contains few fibers, then it becomes hyphae. And in a plate, the Maggi which is present, it is present in the form of tangled mass, and that is known as the mycelium. So easily you can remember all these words. Then which of the following is found to be absent as a stored food material in fungi? The glycogen is present, then fat is present, and even the oil is present, while the presence of the stored food material in the form of the starch is a characteristic feature of the algae and other plants. And hence the D is the answer, as it is said that absent as a stored food material. So this is not present in the fungi. Then which of the following cell organelles are present in the fungi? If you see the classification of the organism right from the algae, fungi, bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnosperm, and then angiosperm, then you will find that there are the few algae, that is from the cyanobacteria, they are prokaryotic in nature, and rest of the organisms are eukaryotic. And if you see the eukaryotic, that the fungi is a eukaryotic organism, and if it is a eukaryotic, then it must contain the different cell organelles, and hence the mitochondria is present, then endoplasmic reticulum is present, and the ribosome is also present, and hence all the above are present in the cells of the fungi. Then fungi growing on the dead and decaying organic matter is known as. There are the three different types of the fungi on the basis of the mode of the nutrition, that the parasitic fungi, saprophytic fungi, and symbiotic fungi. If the parasitic means they are growing on the other living organism, that may the plant or that may the animal. Saprophytic means on the dead or decaying organic matter. And symbiotic means it is living in association to that of the other organism for the mutual benefits. So if it is growing on the dead and decaying organic matter, then it is a saprophytic and hence it is a answer. Then fungi in which a part of mycelium is converted into reproductive organ or the unit is called as. See here the part of mycelium and hence it is known as the eucarpy. If the complete body or the thallus is converted into the fruiting body or the reproductive organ, then it becomes now the holocarpy. But our question is the part of the mycelium and hence the answer becomes B, that is a eucarpy. Then albugo most commonly infect on the members of family, and these members of the family are nothing but the families of angiosperms. So the albugo is responsible to cause the disease on the plants of the family Amaranthaceae, that is Amaranthus species, Chauli sabji. Then Brassicaceae, that is the mustard, Raphanus, that family, and Convolvulaceae. So all these three families are there on which or on the plants of these families the albugo infect and cause the disease, and hence all the above is the answer for this one. Then asexual reproduction in Cystopus is carried out by the formation of. First one we have to remember that the Cystopus is the another name for the albugo. And if we see the asexual reproduction in the albugo, you have seen that this type of the diagram in which there is a development of the conidiophores, and from this conidiophores there is a development of the conidia. So by means of the formation of conidia there is a asexual reproduction in albugo, and hence the conidia becomes the answer for this one. Then hyphae of albugo are, means which type of the hyphae are there or the vegetative body are there in albugo. They are cenocytic, they are branched, and even they grow in between the cells, that is intercellular, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. The disease caused by albugo infection is called as. We know that the albugo when causes the disease, then because of the formation of the conidia on the surface of the leaf, and these are white in color, and hence this disease is known as the white rust disease. The conidia in a chain are separated from each other by gelatinous intercalary disc called. When we have to see one single conidiophore, at that time when there is a formation of the conidia from this conidiophore, initially they are joined with each other by means of such type of the gelatinous intercalary disc, and this intercalary disc is known as disjunctor cell. So we have to remember this word. The arrangement of conidia in albugo is in. If you see, this was the first one, this was second, third one, and fourth one. So this will be the older one and this will be the younger one. Means the older is present at the apex and younger is present at the base. So such a type of the condition is known as basipetal succession. So you should remember this, that if the younger is present at the base, basipetal means at the base, and from the base B, basipetal, and if younger is present at the apex from the A, that is acropetal. So in this, here the younger is present at the base, and hence this type of the condition of the development of conidia in albugo is in a basipetal succession. The zoospores in albigo are, if you see the zoospore in albigo, they are present in such a type of the structures, and these are provided with the two flagella, and they are reniform. Reniform means the kidney shape. So they are kidney shaped and bearing the two flagella, and hence both are the correct, and hence it becomes that is both A and B, that is the C will be the answer for this question. Then which of the following fungi belong to Zygomycetes? So we have to remember the different subclasses of the fungi. That is, the member of the Zygomycetes is a mucor, and as we know here there is a formation of zygospore, which is the characteristic feature of the Zygomycetes. Then mucor is parasitic fungi, saprophytic fungi, symbiotic fungi. If you see the development of the mucor, usually the mucor very well grow on braid, and if you see this braid, it is dead or decaying organic matter, and if the fungi is growing on the dead and decaying organic matter, then it is known as saprophytic fungi, and hence it is a answer. The mycelium of mucor is, it is branched, it is cynocytic also, and the mycelium of the mucor are of the two different types, that is plus strain and the minus strain, depending upon the type of the spore germinated, and hence all these three are the correct one with respect to the mycelium or the hyphae in the mucor, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following is absent in the mucor? If you see the stolon rhizoid, now this is a mucor, and usually this fruiting body of the mucor, that is sporangiophore, is like this one. So here there is a absence of rhizoids. So rhizoids are not present, and even the stolon is also not present in the mucor. Presence of rhizoid and the stolon are the characteristic feature of the rhizopus, which is again one of the member of the Zygomycetes, and hence the stolon is also absent and rhizoids are also absent, and hence both A and B becomes the answer for this question. Then vegetative reproduction in mucor takes place by, if you see the vegetative reproduction in the mucor, then it is carried out by means of the formation of the chlamydospores, then by means of the formation of the oidiospores and fragmentation also, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following member belongs to Basidiomycetes? The Basidiomycetes characteristic feature is formation of basidiospores, just like to that of Zygomycetes, formation of the zygospores. So here the Puccinia is a member of the Basidiomycetes, in which there is a formation of basidiospores. We will see in the upcoming questions. Then which of the following spores are formed on the primary host? If you see the Puccinia, there is two different type of the host, that is one is primary host and second one is a alternate host, or we can say it is a secondary host. The primary host is wheat plant and the secondary host is a barberry plant. So if you see the wheat plant, there is a formation of uridospores, teletospores, and from the teletospore there is a formation of basidiospores, while on the barberry plant there is a formation of pycnidiospores and acidiospores. So this is a life cycle of the Puccinia on the two different hosts. So when we are considering that the primary host and on which the formation of the spores, then here three different types. So uridospore, teletospores and the basidiospores, and hence all the above becomes the answer. Then which of the following spores are formed on the alternate host? So pycnidiospores and the acidiospore both are formed on the alternate host or the secondary host, and hence both A and B is a answer. Then dikaryoticization. So the dikaryoticization is the process of the formation of dikaryotic type of the mycelium. If you see the type of the mycelium, here if the one cell contain the single nucleus, then it is known as the monokaryotic, and if this mycelium contain two nuclei in each cell, then it is known as dikaryotic. This is monokaryotic and this is a dikaryotic. So the process of the formation of a dikaryotic type of the mycelium, that is known as the dikaryotization. And if we see this process of the dikaryotization, it is carried out on the barberry plant, and the barberry plant is a alternate host or the secondary host. Then sexual reproduction is found to be absent in. If we see these different organisms which are included in the syllabus, that is the Mucorpuxinia, Sarcospora and Albigo, you will find that here the sexual reproduction is found to be absent in the Sarcospora. Then Ticca disease of groundnut is caused by the parasitic fungi, and that is a Sarcospora. Then which of the following spores are dikaryotic in Puccinia? Di means the two, karyon means the nucleus. If you see the structure of the spores, then here the uridospores are oval or spherical with a echinoid margin and having two nuclei in it, while in case of the teletospores, the wall is thick, outer wall is thick, and there are the presence of two cells. So this is a uridospore and this is a teletospore. So the dikaryotic means having the two nuclei, which is the uridospore, and hence the uridospore becomes the answer for this question. The lower, smaller binucleate sterile cell present in between acidiospores in Puccinia is called as. If you see the development of the acidiospores, which are hexagonal and they are joined with each other by a cell in between it, and this cell which is present in between the acidiospores is known as disjunctor cell, or even it is also called as intercalary cell, and hence both A and B is the answer. Then which of the following spores germinate to form basidiospores in Puccinia? If you see this structure, then you will find that such type of the structure is there, which is known as teletospores, and these teletospores germinate to form the basidiospores. So here there is a formation of such a type of the basidiospores after the germination of the teletospore, and hence the teletospore becomes the answer for this question. In Puccinia, spermatia are formed inside, spermatia is nothing but the male gamete. And if we see the pycnidial cup, in which there is a formation of receptive hyphae as well as spermatia, and hence the formation of the spermatia is a characteristic feature of the pycnidial cup. Then black rust, brown rust, yellow rust disease of the wheat is caused by, and this is a characteristic feature of the Puccinia. Some species cause the disease that is known as the black rust, some cause the brown rust, and some cause the yellow rust, depending upon the color of the different spores which are formed by the Puccinia. The multicellular conidia are formed by, if you see the formation of the conidia, which is the characteristic feature of the albigo and Cercospora in the syllabus. In a albigo, there is a formation of such a type of the spherical conidia from the conidiophores, while in case of the Cercospora, such type of the falcate multicellular conidia are formed. So this is a conidia of the albigo, and this is conidia of the Cercospora. So the multicellular conidia is a characteristic feature of the Cercospora. Cercospora belongs to class. If you see the Deuteromycetes, which include the Cercospora, as we know that in a Basidiomycetes there is a Puccinia, in Myxomycetes albigo, Zygomycetes mucor, and hence the Deuteromycetes becomes the answer as it includes the Cercospora. Then conidia of Cercospora are, just we have seen such a type of the falcate structure which are multicellular are the conidia of the Cercospora, and hence they are multicellular also and the falcate, and hence the C will be the answer for this question. Germ tube arising from the teletospores to form basidiospores is called as we have seen, there is a germination of the teletospore, and after the germination there is a formation of such a type of the germ tube just from below the septum from the lower cell and from the apex of the upper cell. So here there is a formation of such a type of the tube which is known as epibasidium, and this cell include the hypobasidium. If we see the development of the basidiospore, they are developing from the epibasidium, and hence the epibasidium becomes the answer for this question. Then sterigma are develops on, if you see this tube which is developing from the teletospore, then here there is a development of such a type of the small tube-like structure from which a basidiospores comes out. So these are known as sterigma, and these sterigma are formed on the epibasidium. So the epibasidium becomes the answer for this one. Then which of the following spores are bicelled? If you see the teletospore, they are the bicelled. Uridospores and acidiospores, they are binucleate. So this is the difference in between these two. Then formation of cenozygote is the characteristic feature of, if you see the meaning of the cenozygote is that if the single zygote contain such a type of the many zygote inside it, then the structure is known as the cenozygote. Means here every nucleus is a fusion of two nuclei, one is considered as a male and another as a female, or the plus 10 nucleus and the minus 10 nucleus. And this is a characteristic feature of the mucor during the formation of the zygospore. Then second unit of this, which include the plant pathology and lichens. Here in the plant pathology there are the three different type of the diseases, that is the leaf curl of a papaya, then citrus canker and red rot of sugarcane. And the lichen includes the types, reproduction and economic importance. So the fungi Colletotrichum falcatum causes the disease, that is the fungal disease, and the red rot of sugarcane is a fungal disease which is caused by the Colletotrichum falcatum. Then which of the following symptoms are found after infection by the Colletotrichum falcatum on the sugarcane plant? So the yellowing and drooping of upper leaves, that is the young leaves which are present near the tip, the stem shrivel and the rind loses its bright color, which is also one of the symptom of the red rot of the sugarcane. Then pith of the stem becomes reddish in the initial stage, and later on this reddishness from the pith is translocated to the outer side. And hence here all these three are the symptoms of red rot of sugarcane, and hence all the above becomes the answer. Then causal organism of the citrus canker is a disease which is a bacterial disease, and the Xanthomonas is a causal organism of this one. Then begomovirus is responsible to cause the disease. Begomovirus, that is the viral disease, and if you see the leaf curl of the papaya is caused by the viral disease. So citrus canker is a bacterial disease, red rot of sugarcane is a fungal disease, and this is a viral disease. So we can remember this one also. Then which of the following is symptom of the leaf curl of the papaya? Stunted growth of the plant, then clearing of the veins and reduction of size of the leaves. All these three are the symptom of the leaf curl of the papaya, and hence all the above becomes the answer. The symptoms of citrus canker are the leaves appear as a smaller in size, then development of round raised yellow and the brown translucent spots, and premature defoliation, means leaf fall. So again all these three are the symptom of the citrus canker, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following is a control measure of the citrus canker? First one, that is a spraying 1% Bordeaux mixture, then antibiotic spray with the streptomycin or the phytomycin. Both are the control measure, and hence both A and B is the answer. Then transmission of begomovirus is carried out by, if you see the transmission of the begomovirus, usually it is carried out by the white fly, and hence it is a answer. Then which of the following is the control measure of red rot of sugarcane? If you see the control measure of the red rot of the sugarcane, which is one of the fungal disease, that is the field sanitization before and after the plantation, which are responsible to kill the fungal spores. Then collection and burning of the infected plant, this is one of the best solution in case of the any disease. And long rotation of the crop, so that we can control the fungal diseases in the field, and hence all the above becomes the answer, as all these three are the control measures of the red rot of the sugarcane. Then which of the following disease is bacterial disease? As we have seen earlier, now the citrus canker, which is caused by the Xanthomonas, and hence here this is a bacterial disease. Then which of the following is a viral disease? That is begomovirus, which is responsible for the leaf curl of the papaya, and hence it is a viral disease. Then which of these are fungal? That is the Coletotrichum, which is responsible for the sugar cane, and hence it is the fungal disease. So there may be question in this manner also. Then which of the following disease is not insect borne? Means here, if you see the leaf curl of the papaya, it is transmitted with the help of white fly. But the citrus canker, which is the bacterial disease, is not transmitted through such type of the insect, and hence it is not the insect borne disease. Which of the following causal organism can enter the healthy plants through wounds, rubbing leaves, scratches, and even broken hairs? If you see these different methods of the entrance of the causal organism or the pathogen, then it must be very small, and hence it is the only virus which can enter such type of the healthy plants through the wounds, even by rubbing on the leaves, scratches, or the broken hairs. Then which of the following are main objectives of the plant pathology? If you see the plant pathology or the study of plant diseases, then which include the pathogenesis, then epidemiology and etiology also, and hence all the above is the answer for this question. A flat, broad, much lobed and leaf-like thallus of the lichen is. If you see the lichens, so such type of the lichens are there having the leaf-like structure and they are lobed. So such a type of the lichens which are flat, broad and lobed, looking like the leaf, and they are known as the foliose lichen. Foliose means the leaf. In lichens, most common fungal component belongs to. If you see the lichen is nothing but the combination of two different organisms, that is algae and fungi. Means the algal component and the fungal component combinedly form the lichen. And if you see the fungal component, most common fungal components of the lichen belongs to the Ascomycetes as well as Basidiomycetes, and hence both A and B becomes the answer. In the similar way, the most common algal components belongs to the members of subclass Chlorophyceae and Cyanophyceae are present in the lichen, and hence both A and B becomes the answer for this question. Maximum number of lichen contain the algal components from. If you see, there are the members of Chlorophyceae also, and there are the members of Cyanophyceae also in the lichen, but there are 80% of the lichen which contain the members of Chlorophyceae, and the 20% of the lichen which contain the members of Cyanophyceae, and hence the Chlorophyceae becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following statement is correct? If two components of lichen thallus artificially separated. As we have seen, the lichen is made up of algae and the fungi, and if these both the components are separated from each other from the lichen thallus, then what will happen? So first one, that is the algal component is able to live as an independent individual. Fungal component is able to live as an independent individual. Both algal and fungal component are not able to live as an independent individual, and the algal component not, but the fungal component can live as an individual. So if you see, if we have to separate these two, then it becomes individual organism even after the separation, that is the algal component, and hence the algal component is able to live as an independent individual, but fungal component never. So hence here the A becomes the answer. Then lichen is best example of first one parasitism, second one commensalism, and third one mutualism. Parasitism means here the one organism is depend on the other and other is harmed. Then one organism is depend on the other, but the other organism neither be benefited nor be harmed. And in a mutualism, both the organisms are benefited. If we see the lichen, there is a benefit of both the organism because the fungal component is responsible for the absorption of the water and the mineral from the soil, as well as the bark of the trees, surface of the rock where they are growing. And the algal component is responsible to carry out the process of the photosynthesis, and the food material is provided to the fungi. And hence there is a benefit of both these components, and hence if there is a benefit of both the organisms, then it is known as mutualism, and hence the lichen is the best example of the mutualism. Then tomato and tobacco are the alternate host of. If we see the begomovirus, which can infect on tobacco also, and it can infect on the tomato also. So this type of the leaf curl disease is common in the tobacco and the tomato caused by the begomovirus, and hence it is a answer. Then checking the population of white flies is a control measure of the white flies is a vector, and it is a vector for the begomovirus. So the begomovirus is responsible for the leaf curl of papaya, and hence it is a answer. Then very commonly the lichens grow on, just I have told you, the lichen can grow on the bark, lichen can grow on the bare rocks, and even the lichen can grow on the soil, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. When the fruiting body is disc-like apothecium, then the lichen is called as. There are two different types of the fruiting body, that is, one is apothecium and the second one is a perithecium, and this is completely dependent upon the type of fruiting body. So if the fruiting body is such a type, that is saucer shaped or the cup shaped, then it is known as the apothecium. And if the fruiting body is flask shaped and there is a development of such type of the ascus inside it, here this type. So these are the two different type of the fruiting bodies. So if the fruiting body is apothecium, then it is known as the gymnocarpy, and if the fruiting body is perithecium, then it is known as pyrenocarpy, and hence here the fruiting body is apothecium, and hence the gymnocarpy becomes the answer. The lichens with the flask shaped perithecium as a fruiting body is called as, just the same type of the question, that is the pyrenocarpy. Then the thalli of the lichen, which are differentiated into layers of tissues, are called as. If there are the different layers of the tissues in the form of fungal components as well as the algal component, then the condition is known as the heteromerous. Different, then heteromerous, and same means the homomerous. And here the question is for the different layers, and hence the answer becomes heteromerous type of the lichens. Then vegetative reproduction in lichens takes place by Soredium, Isidium, and Cephalodium. All these three type of the vegetative reproduction are shown by the lichens, and hence all the above becomes the answer. In heteromerous lichen means there are the different layers. The upper and the lower cortex are made of. If you see the upper cortex and the lower cortex of the heteromerous lichen, it is made up of fungal components, while the algal components are present in between this upper and the lowermost layer. The asexual reproduction in lichen takes place by means of the lichens are reproducing by means of the formation of oidiospores and even by means of the formation of pycnidiospore, and hence both A and B becomes the answer for this question. Sexual reproduction in lichens carried out by, as we know, the lichens are the symbiotic association in between the algae and the fungi, but then also the algal component is not able to reproduce by means of the sexual reproduction, and the sexual reproduction is carried out only by the fungal component, and hence B is the answer for this one. Then which of the following is economic importance of lichen? As a food and fodder, which is used in the synthesis of the dyes and tanning industries, in cosmetics and perfumery. So these are the different economic importance of the lichen. Very common use of the lichen is in the home, that is the spice, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. A small bird-like outgrowth develop on lichen thallus containing few algal cells closely enveloped by fungal hyphae is called as. In this, there are few cells of the algae or the algal components, and these few cells are completely enveloped by the fungal hyphae. So such a type of the structure is known as the soradium. Which of the following is not economic importance of lichens? Not economic importance. Soil formation. If you see the formation of the soil, that is the pedogenesis, the firstmost process is the development of the lichen on the rocks, and hence it is involved in the process of the soil formation. Even there is a synthesis of many medicines from the lichens, and hence there are the medicinal uses. The lichens are not used as a biofertilizer, and hence this is not the economic importance of the lichen. A small papillate outgrowth on the surface of lichen with the outer cortical layer enclosing the algal and fungal component is called as. So such a type of the structure which is used for the reproduction in the lichen, and that is known as the ecidium. Then a small wort-like structure formed on the surface of the thallus is called as. So if you see the wort-like, then it is known as the cephalodium. So you should remember both these definitions on the basis of their structure of the reproductive organ in the lichen. In the third unit, which is based on Bryophyta, which includes the classification which is given by Prosker in 1957, general characteristics of the bryophytes, that is Hepatocopsida, Anthoceratopsida and Bryopsida, and economic importance and alternation of generation. The life history of three different genera from the bryophytes, that is Markensia, Anthoceros and Funaria. Let's see the question based on third unit. Which of the following are the characteristics of bryophytes? The plant body is thallus-like, means when the root, stem and the leaves are found to be absent, then the body is known as the thallus, which is the characteristic feature of the algae, fungi and the bryophyte. Sex organs are surrounded by the sterile cells. Here there are the presence of antheridia and archegonia, which are surrounded by the sterile cell, again which is the characteristic feature of the bryophyte. Then dominant phase of the life cycle is gametophytic. Again in the algae, fungi and bryophyta, the dominant phase of the life cycle is gametophytic, and hence all these three are the characteristic feature of the bryophytes. Then according to the Prosker 1957, the class Hepaticopsida consists of, so there are 4 orders and 9 families in Hepaticopsida, and 1 order and 1 family in Anthoceratopsida, and 17 orders and 81 families in the Bryopsida, and hence the A becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following is also called as hornwort? If you see the thallus structure of the Anthoceros, then you will find that such a type of the elongated structures in the form of sporophytes, and hence on the basis of its sporophyte it is known as the hornwort, and hence the hornwort, that is the Anthoceros, belongs to the Anthoceratopsida and which is commonly called as the hornwort. The well-known genus Funaria belongs to the class. The Funaria is a member of Bryopsida. Marchantia from the Hepaticopsida, Anthoceros from the Anthoceratopsida, and Funaria from the Bryopsida. Then diploid phase of the life cycle of bryophytes is the diploid, that is the sporophytic phase, which is responsible for the development of the spores or the haploid spores which germinate to form again the gametophyte, and hence the sporophyte becomes the answer for this one. Then which of the following is an economic importance of bryophytes? There are the medicinal properties also. It is involved in the soil formation and it is a pollution indicator. And all these three are the economic importance of the bryophytes. Then which of the following is first stage of the sporophytic generation? First one is the Antheridia, second one is the Archegonia, third one is the zygote, and fourth one is the spore mother cell. If you see the sporophytic generation, it is diploid. Antheridia is haploid, Archegonia is haploid, zygote is diploid, spore mother cell is diploid. So after the formation of the zygote, then there is a formation of the spore mother cell. So the zygote is the first stage of the sporophytic generation in the bryophytes. Then which of the following play an important role in alternation of generation in the bryophytes? If you see the alternation of generation, that is the gametophytic phase, which is haploid, alternate with the sporophytic phase, which is diploid, and this is known as alternation of generation, that the sporophytic phase alternate with the gametophytic phase and the gametophytic phase alternate with the sporophytic phase. So when there is a conversion of the gametophytic phase into the sporophytic phase, it is by the fusion of the gamete, and that is known as the fertilization. And when the sporophytic phase convert into the gametophytic phase, then there is a meiosis, and hence if we see both these are involved in the alternation of generation, and hence both A and B is answer. Then presence of photosynthetic and storage zone in the thallus is a characteristic feature of, if you see the structure of thallus, that is dorsiventral thallus is found in the Marchantia as well as the Anthoceros, and the presence of such type of the two zones is a characteristic feature of the Hepaticopsida, and no such type of the zones in the Anthoceratopsida, and hence the Hepaticopsida includes the Marchantia, and hence it is the answer for this one. Then presence of mucilage cavity in a thallus found in, if you see the structure of thallus, which contain the number of cells in the thallus of Anthoceros. So in the Anthoceros there is a cavity which contain the cyanobacteria. So this is known as mucilage cavity, and this mucilage cavity is present in the Anthoceros. In Anthoceros are presence of the elaters is a characteristic feature of the Markensia. Presence of pseudo-elaters is a characteristic feature of the Anthoceros, and hence here the pseudo-elater becomes the answer for this one. The condition in which development of Antheridia on one branch and Archegonia on another branch on the same plant. So if you see such type of the plant is there on which there are the two different type of the branches in case of the Funaria plant, and here there is a development of the male reproductive organ on the one branch and female reproductive organ on the another branch. So such a type of the condition is known as autoecious condition or the autoecous condition. But when there is a development of the male and female reproductive organ on the same plant, then it is known as the monoecious condition. So this type of the condition is known as monoecious also as well as the autoecious also, and hence both A and B becomes the answer for this one. Then which of the following genera the neck of the Archegonium is longest and contain highest number of neck cells among it? So if you see the Funaria, Anthoceros and Markensia, the neck of the Archegonia in Anthoceros is longest among these three genera. Then protective layers present around the sporophyte of Markensia is called as, if you see the protective layers, it is known as the Perigynium, then Perichicium and Calyptra. All these three different type of the protective layers are present around the sporophyte of the Markensia, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this one. Then which of the following protective layer of the sporophyte is innermost? Here such type of the structure is there, that is the oval type of the structure in which there are the such type of the protective layers around it, and the innermost is known as Calyptra. Then outer one is known as the Perigynium, and the protective layer which is responsible to encircle the many sporophytes at the same time, that is known as the Perichicium, and hence all these three are the protective layer of the sporophyte, of which the Calyptra is a innermost one. Then all the species of dioecious, all the species are dioecious and which are found in, if you see the species of Anthoceros or the species of Funaria, they are monoecious and dioecious both. So only the dioecious species are found in the Markensia, that is the male reproductive organ develops on the one thallus, that is male thallus, and the female reproductive organ develops on the another thallus, that is the female thallus. So this is a characteristic feature of the Markensia. The reproductive organs like the Antheridia and Archegonia in Markensia develops on. If you see the reproductive organs which are developing in the Anthoceros, that is they are developing on the Antheridophore and the Archegoniophore. If you see the embedded in the thallus, which is the characteristic feature of the Anthoceros, on separate branches there is a characteristic feature of the Funaria, and on Antheridophore and the Archegoniophore is a characteristic feature of the Markensia. Then presence of Jimma cup is a characteristic feature of the thallus of. Here there is a formation of Jimma cup is a characteristic feature of the Markensia, but there are some species of the Anthoceros which are again responsible for the formation of Jimma cup, and hence both A and B is a answer for this question. Then vegetative or the asexual reproduction in Markensia takes place by means of formation of the Jimmy, means in a Jimma cup, then by means of the fragmentation of the thallus and adventitious branches which are developing on the parent thallus. And all these three are the vegetative or the asexual reproduction in the Markensia. Then presence of paraphysis and perigonial leaves is a characteristic feature of. If you see the paraphysis and the perigonial leaves which are developing, they are develops in a antheridial branch. Again, the perichichial leaves or the perichichium is a characteristic feature of the archegonial branch. Both these are from the Funaria, that is the antheridial branch and the archegonial branch. Then which of the following thallus is dorsiventrally flat? If you see the thallus of the Markensia, which is again the dorsiventrally flat, having the dorsal and the ventral side, and the Anthoceros is also dorsiventrally flat. The Markensia thallus is thick as compared to the Anthoceros. So both A and B becomes the answer. The central sterile part of the sporophyte is called as. If you see the the sporophyte of Anthoceros or the sporophyte of Funaria, then in both these sporophyte there is a central part which is sterile, that is known as the columella, and hence it is a answer. Then which of the following is hygroscopic and help in dispersal of the spores? So if you see the Funaria, in Funaria capsule there are the peristome teeth which are hygroscopic in nature and are involved in the dispersal of the spores. Then vegetative reproduction in Anthoceros takes place by, if you see the Anthoceros, there is a formation of the tuber which is the characteristic feature of the Anthoceros thallus. Then apospory means here the development of the diploid gametophyte from the sporophyte directly, and fragmentation of the thallus. So all these three are the vegetative reproduction in the thallus, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this one. Bryophytes are known as amphibians of plant kingdom because, if you see the bryophytes, they are known as first land plants as they are growing on the land after the algae, because most of the members of the algae are aquatic. Then they require the water for the sexual reproduction. Without water, it is not possible to complete the sexual reproduction in the bryophytes, and hence as they require the land and water to complete the life cycle, and hence the bryophytes are known as amphibians, and hence the third option is a answer. Then which of the following characters shows terrestrial nature of bryophytes? If any organism among the plant growing on the soil, then it must have the ability to absorb the water and the minerals as well as to anchor the plant body in the soil. So these functions are carried out by the rhizoids for the absorption and anchorage, and the presence of air pore is a characteristic feature of the land plant, which is used for the exchange of the gases for the process of respiration and the photosynthesis, and hence both A and B becomes the answer for this question. Then presence of pyrenoid is a characteristic feature of, if you see the Anthoceros thallus, then in every cell there is a presence of a proteinous body. So this proteinous body which is present in the Anthoceros thallus is known as the pyronoid, which is the answer. Then which of the following class of Bryophyta represent with a maximum number of species? The Hepatocopsida having the 8,500 species, Anthoceratopsida having 300 plus species, and Bryopsida contain the 14,000 plus species, and hence the Bryopsida becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following type of scales are present in the Marchantia? If you see the thallus of the Marchantia, in which there are the two different type of the scales, one is known as the simple scales and second one is the appendiculate cell. So both are present in the thallus of the Marchantia. Then assimilatory filaments in Marchantia are, if you see the VS of the thallus of the Marchantia, then inside it there are the presence of such a type of the filaments in a photosynthetic zone, and these filaments contain the chloroplast and hence they are involved in the process of photosynthesis. So they are branched filaments, they are unbranched filaments, so both type of the filaments are present and photosynthetic in nature as they contain the chloroplast, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this one. The structure that secretes mucilage and protects the growing point from the desiccation in Marchantia is called as, you should remember this one or learn this name, that is there is a presence of papilla near the growing point which is responsible to protect the growing point from the desiccation. Then presence of two types of rhizoids, that is simple one and tuberculate, is a characteristic feature of an Hepatocopsida, and the member of Hepatocopsida is Marchantia, and hence it is a answer. Then which of the following is absent in Anthoceros thallus? Tuberculate rhizoids, then scales and mucilaginous hairs. If you see the thallus of the Anthoceros, here all these are not found in the Anthoceros thallus. Then pseudo-elater in Anthoceros are, they are branched or unbranched, they are hygroscopic in nature, and they are without spiral thickenings. All these three are the characteristic features of the pseudo-elaters, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. These are known as the pseudo-elaters because they do not have the spiral thickenings. So you should remember this character also. The presence of operculum, peristome and annulus are the sporophyte characteristics of. If you see the sporophyte of the Funaria, here there is a presence of such a type of the cap which contain operculum, peristome and annulus. So this is a characteristic feature of the Funaria. Then which of the following characters are of Anthoceratopsida? Presence of mucilage cavity in the thallus that we have seen in the Anthoceros. Then presence of pyrenoid in each cell that we have seen in the Anthoceros, and the thallus is undifferentiated internally. No such type of the photosynthetic zone and the storage zone, just like to that of the Hepatocopsida, and hence all these three are the characteristic feature of the Anthoceratopsida, and hence the answer is D. Then absence of columella and intercalary meristeme is a characteristic feature of, we have earlier seen, the presence of the columella is a characteristic feature of the Anthoceros and the Funaria, and hence such a type is not present in the Marchantia and the Marchantia belongs to Hepaticopsida. Then which of the following is the characteristic feature of Bryopsida? In Bryopsida, we have the plant that is a Funaria. So the spore germinate to form the protonema, which is the characteristic feature of the Bryopsida. Then plant body differentiated into the rhizoids, axis or the stem, and scales or the leaves. So this is a plant body of the Funaria. Then oval capsule with the operculum and the peristome tip, which is again the characteristic feature of the Funaria. So all the above are the characteristic features of the Bryopsida. In the fourth unit, we have the skill development unit on mushroom cultivation. This includes the introduction about the mushroom cultivation, that is the nutritional and the medicinal values of the edible mushrooms, poisonous mushrooms, and the different examples of the edible mushrooms. Then the technology of the mushroom cultivation, that how we have to culture the mushrooms in the mushroom house, and even there are the different techniques which are used in the production of the mushrooms. So we will see the MCQs based on mushroom cultivation. Mushrooms are the rich source of, if you see, the content of the protein, content of the carbohydrate, content of the vitamins and the minerals. So all these three are present in the mushroom, and hence the protein, carbohydrate, vitamins and the minerals are the main component of the mushrooms. Then which of the following vitamins are present in the mushrooms? In mushroom, there is a presence of vitamin B also and the vitamin D also, and hence both A and B becomes the answer for this question. Which of the following minerals are present in the mushrooms? If you see, the mushrooms that contain the magnesium, it contains the phosphorus and potassium also. So all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following nutrients are present in the mushrooms? Copper is also present, zinc is also present, and selenium is also present in the mushroom, and hence again all the above becomes the answer. Then which of the following component is found in maximum quantity in the mushroom with respect to the protein, carbohydrate, fats and the vitamins? So around 51% of the carbohydrate is present and 21% of the protein is present in the mushrooms, while very less amount of the fat and the vitamins. So the carbohydrate, as it is present 51%, it becomes answer as maximum quantity found in the mushroom. Then which of the following symptoms appears when the poisonous mushrooms consumed? If we consume the poisonous mushroom, then what will be the symptoms after consumption? So first one, that is the vomiting and the abdominal pain, correct one. That is hallucination and the coma, that is again. Then hepatic and the renal failure if the mushrooms are poisonous or deadly poisonous, and hence all the above are the symptoms of the poisonous mushrooms. Then which of the following poisonous mushrooms is known as death cap? You should remember the name, that is the Amanita phalloides, which is commonly called as death cap, as it is very harmful or the poisonous. The stalk of the mushroom is called as, if you see the structure of mushroom, then you will find that such type of the body is there and the umbrella like fruiting body on the stalk. So this is known as the fruiting body and this is the stalk, and this stalk is also known as stipe. So the stipe becomes the answer for this one. Then which of the following edible mushroom is also called as golden oyster mushroom? So the Pleurotus citrinopiliatus, which is yellow in color, and hence it is known as the golden oyster mushroom. Then which of the following edible mushroom is also called as the paddy straw mushroom? Means it is growing on the paddy straw, and the Wolveriella wolvacea is commonly cultivated on the paddy straw, and hence it is known as the paddy straw mushroom. The Agaricus bisporus is commonly called as the most common type of the mushroom is Agaricus bisporus, which is cultivated in India and abroad in a highest amount, and it is very well known as a button mushroom. Then identification characteristics of poisonous mushroom is are. This is very important as a general knowledge also. That is the white gills, then cap or the stem reddish, stem with the ring or the skirt. If you see a such type of the shape, then there is a presence of such type of the ring around it, and that is known as the skirt. So all these are the characteristic feature of the poisonous mushroom by which we can easily identify the poisonous mushrooms. Then cultivation of mushrooms. The best mushroom, the compost is prepared from. Means there is need of the preparation of the compost for the cultivation of the mushroom, and this is prepared with the help of either rice bran or wheat bran, then sugarcane bagages and cereal straw, and all these three are used for the formation of the compost for cultivation of mushrooms, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. How much organic dry substrate is required for the production of 1 kg of mushrooms? If you see the literature regarding the cultivation of the mushroom or the production of the mushroom, you will find that there is need of 2 to 2.5 kg of the product or the organic matter for the production of 1 kilogram of the mushroom. Then fruiting in mushroom is induced by lowering the temperature, because when the mushrooms are grown, usually the hyphae are used, that is nothing but the spawn. So from this spawn later on there is a development of such type of the fruiting body that is known as the mushrooms. So by lowering the temperature, maintaining the humidity and the moisture, then maintaining the ventilation and carbon dioxide concentration, and all these three are required for the introduction or induction of the fruiting in the mushroom, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then what is casing? If you see the complete process of the mushroom cultivation, initially the mushrooms are grown, specifically the button mushrooms, and after spawning or the spawn running, here again it is covered with soil. So such a type of the method in which the soil is placed on the spawning bed is known as the casing. So the covering of the spawning bed with the soil is known as the casing. The carbon nitrogen ratio used in preparation of the compost is, means the type of the compost which is to be provided in the different stage of the mushroom cultivation. Here initially it is made, that is 20 to 30:1, and later on during the fruiting there is use of the compost containing the carbon and nitrogen, that is 16 to 17:1. So both A and B becomes the answer for this one. Then what is spawn? Just I have told you, that is the hyphae are nothing but the spawn which are used for the cultivation of the mushroom, and hence the vegetative hyphae is the answer for this question. Then which of the following method is used after spawn running? After spawn running, earlier we have seen the complete spawning is covered with the fine particles of the soil, and this method is known as the casing. The compost preparation is the earlier process, and even the spawn production is a earlier process carried out in the spawn running. Then mycelium produces white or colored umbrella shaped fruiting bodies called as. If you see this fruiting body of the mushroom, and that is known as the basidiocarp. It is responsible for the formation of the basidiospores. Then basidiocarp consists of fleshy stalk called this one. So earlier we have seen that this is known as stipe, and the umbrella like head borne on its top, and this is known as pileus. So the stipe and pileus is the answer for this question. On the lower side of pileus, number of vertical plates like structures are present called as. If you see this structure of the pileus, and this is the type, and here there are such a type of the vertical plates in the pileus. These are known as gills. These are responsible for the production of basidiospores. So gills becomes the answer. When young fruiting body is completely enveloped by a thin membrane, it is called as. You should remember such a type of the thin structure or the membrane which is responsible to cover the young fruiting body is known as velum or the velli. Then mushrooms cultivation is not useful. Recycling agricultural waste. Earlier we have seen that the rice bran is used. Then sugarcane baggage is used. Then wheat bran is used. So this is the waste product. Then biogas production. Even the biogas is produced after the cultivation of the mushrooms, and the mushrooms are used to prevent the cancer. So all these are the useful characteristics of the mushroom, but the question is asked not useful. So none of these becomes the answer for this question. Then which is not found in mushroom? Eukaryotic cell, dikaryotic mycelium, ascospores and basidiospore. So ascospores are not found in the mushrooms. They are eukaryotic in nature, and even the mycelium are the dikaryotic, and they belong to basidiomycetes, means forming the basidiospores, and hence ascospores are not found in the mushroom becomes the answer. Then edible part of the mushroom is, means here we are eating, or the edible part is the fruiting body, and that is known as the basidiocarp. Then moisture content of casing layer is maintained by. If you see the process of the casing, and after that there is need of the maintenance of the humidity or the moisture, usually it is carried out by spraying the water on the casing layer. Then temperature and humidity at the time of fruiting of mushroom is to be kept as. You should remember this because this is the fixed one. There is need to maintain 14 to 80 degrees Celsius temperature and the humidity as 85%. So this is very important for the fruiting of the mushrooms. Then what type of the climate is suitable for the mushroom cultivation? Usually there is need of the moisture or the humidity in the nature, and hence the humid type of the atmosphere is an important factor for the cultivation of the mushroom. Then mushrooms are very nutritious, rich in the protein, fiber, and have. If you see the citric acid, uric acid, amino acid and the folic acid. So the folic acid is prominently present in the mushrooms. Then one of the major disease of the mushroom are, so if you see the different diseases of the mushroom, the wet bubble and the dry bubble are the very common diseases of the mushroom, and hence both A and B becomes the answer. Then texture of oyster mushroom is, if you see the oyster mushroom, you will find that they are velvety from outer side, and hence it is a answer. Then which of the following is the most extensively cultivated mushroom in the world? As earlier I told you, of all the mushrooms, near about 80% of the mushroom cultivation is carried out by cultivating the Agaricus bisporus, and hence it is a answer, that is a button mushroom. Then commercial spawn is prepared from, if you see the spawn is nothing but the vegetative hyphae, and the vegetative hyphae are commercially produced with the help of existing spawn, and this existing spawn is known as the mother spawn. Then which of the following is true about the mushrooms? So they do not require the sunlight, as it is a heterotrophic group of the organisms in the plants, and hence it is the correct. Then it requires the compost or the organic matter to grow, as it is a heterotrophic, there is a need of the dead and the organic matter, and this is also the correct, and hence both these are the correct one, and hence it is a answer. Then is a high temperature mushroom. If you see the Agaricus volveriella, so the volveriella can be cultivated in the even high temperature, and hence it becomes the answer. So thank you very much for listening the complete lecture on the paper 2 of the semester 1. If you like this lecture and if it is useful to you in preparation of your examination, then kindly like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel, and also press bell icon for the alerts of every lecture to be uploaded on Life Science Titles. The link of Telegram group is also given in the comment, through which you can join our Telegram group, so that every time any activity if is carried out by Botany for you, then it will be known to you and useful to you. Even the different career oriented advertisements are also uploaded on our Telegram channel, so that through the link given in the comment you can subscribe our Telegram channel also. So thanks a lot once again.